holistic health. And if you've ever considered acupuncture, we'll learn how it can help you. A Chinese medicine expert joins us a little later. But first, a big fundraiser is coming up next month for cystic fibrosis. Stephanie Brantley knows firsthand about the challenges CF presents. It's been a part of her life for 24 years. That's when her son, who was 3 at the time, was diagnosed. Both of her daughters were also diagnosed with it. As captain of the Augusta 65 Roses team, she's helped raise over $75,000 for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and others to fund research and to help families with their financial needs.
The care is tremendous that needs to be given to them each day, especially when they're younger. But the financial burden is great. The medication cost is tremendous. I wanted to do something to be able to reach those families in that way. My children are the beneficiaries of research with a new drug called Kalydeco that came out in 2012. They have all taken this journey together and are heroes in my book.
And we are pleased to have Stephanie Brantley with us today and her daughter Kristen. And you know, before we go further, we want to mention that your other daughter Kelly was in that video, and Kelly has since passed away. And our hearts go out to you for that. But in the meantime, your fight with cystic fibrosis goes on. Mm-hmm. And Kristen, I mean, you live with it. You can tell us what, you know, how does cystic fibrosis impact you?
As a young child, my parents have always taught us you can do anything you put your mind to. And I definitely have done that ever since I was a child. I have lived my life as normal as any child would have. That's
tremendous, and I guess attitude, like you said, has a lot to do with that. Do you have to take medication and you know, to maintain? Oh, a lot daily. You know, our lungs are not functioning like as they should. Ever since I was a child, you know, we had the breathing treatments we had to do 3 times a day. Medications on top of that, morning and night. They were kind of a lot at a young age, you know, for a young child to kind of cope with. But we just thought it was something we had to do and something we had to do to keep healthy. Right, absolutely. And Stephanie, because you were the mother of 3 children with CF, you found yourself becoming an advocate. Exactly. You know, that's just what you've done, and until you were in the situation, you didn't realize how, for one thing, how much the medications are, how hard it is on families.
Absolutely. I think that was definitely one of the sticker shocks of finding out, and then having to look at those medications and say, you know, how are we going to pay for these? I mean, there are CF parents that, you know, have maybe they might be an attorney, and it still can't keep up with the cost. Yeah. I mean, just the Kalydeco alone is $25,000 a month. Now, there are co-pay assistance programs that are out there, and we are very grateful for that. But that's not the only drug. There's so many, many more. And so there's a lot of families that is a huge struggle for them. If they don't have good insurance coverage, it's a huge task for them to take on. And then to find a pharmacy that can provide the medications and maybe allow them to make payments a little along, so that then they can keep up with the ongoing costs. So yes, it is one of the biggest struggles, I think, along with the time that it takes for preventive care and for their daily care, definitely.
Well, one of the things that the Brantley family has done is support 65 Roses, and that's a big marathon. We were talking about how you have done so much to raise over $75,000. The money does go to research, but it also goes to, like you said, money to help pay bills, that sort of thing. You're raising funds for local families as well.
Exactly. Our charity team is based on the Augusta University Half Marathon 10K and 5K. We are a team that just run in that race. Our runners agree to try to raise $65 a piece, and there are others that do many more, or much more. And then as well, when we set that goal, that we have corporate sponsors that help. The 65 Roses Augusta team is an extension of the Atlanta team as well, and it's a nonprofit organization. The name of that organization is Miles for Cystic Fibrosis. 65 Roses is just the coined name for the team as we represent and run in the race.
Can you share with the audience where 65 Roses comes from? It's really sweet.
It is very sweet. The phrase was coined when there was a small child that had CF, and he overheard the mother talking on the phone, and he tried to say the word cystic fibrosis, but it came out 65 Roses. So I think it is a really sweet term, and it's one that the CF organization, the foundation, who receives half of the money that we raise, uses that term quite often. And I did want to mention the other half of the money so that local CF patients can benefit is the Reaching Out Foundation, because they are able to directly financially assist local CF patients and their families when there is a struggle, when they can't pay their copay or when they can't pay their mortgage or their light bill. Yeah. And they help in a way that the CF Foundation or the local AU CF Center cannot. So it's really close to my heart to see that when you're in dire straits right then, you need assistance then, and they are able to do that and have done so. Over the years, the money stays right here in the Augusta area, all the money that we raise. They've given as much as $16,000 in a year's time to local CF patient families around the area. So we're doing a great thing, and it's great to see people join with us.
And there are different ways that you can help, and one of them is coming up very soon on February the 7th. It's called Spirit Day, and it's at Chick-fil-A.
Yes, it is through the local Chick-fil-A that's in Aiken. So that day, all day long, people can come out, place orders, catering orders, whatever they might need, and if they mention the 65 Roses team, then we receive a percentage of those purchases. So it will help us meet our $15,000 goal this year.
Okay, so Aiken folks, eat at Chick-fil-A on February the 7th.
Absolutely, more
and
chicken.
say 65 Roses. For Augusta, you're going to have a fundraiser through Buffalo Wild Wings.
Absolutely. We had to give a venue for our Augusta team runners and our participants and volunteers. It's the same concept. It's on February the 19th. It's throughout the whole day that they're in operation. We have lots of people joining in the effort and are making huge catering orders that day as well to help increase our percentage. But they do the same thing, dine in, carry out, or catering orders for your office, the office workers. It's a great way to jump in there and give us some support.
That's terrific. And if you are a runner and you want to help raise funds that way by taking part in the Augusta Roses team, that race is coming up on Saturday, February the 24th. And you'll find all of this information on our website. All you have to do is go to WJBF.com and click the JENNIE link, and you'll find it all there. So Kristen and Stephanie Brantley, thank you all so much for being here today and for talking to us about cystic fibrosis and how we may not realize it, but it certainly does hit awfully close to home. Continued good health to you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. Still ahead on JENNIE, a